There's a lot of money differences, and we're going to see if any of that matters as we get into game number 1 at the beginning of Top 8's elimination side of the bracket.
Now, we're seeing simpLe and Fozey here, and that has got to be, other than Zyder, Delta, and Knees and Frydazol, who are actually fighting each other right now, those are going to be the last 3 teams that are alive in this bracket. One of them, between Zyder, Delta, Knees, Frydazol, is going to be taken out, so it will only be 2 EU teams. So if I'm simpLe and Fozey, I have a chip on my shoulder going into this, because everybody on Twitter is saying, yeah, EU doesn't actually stink, guys. We don't have our real good players here. Like, bro, you still have simpLe here. You have Fozey here. You have 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I'm simpLe and Fozey, I'm almost angry at my region because they immediately jumped ship saying, this land doesn't count.
No, I have to agree with you on that one, man, especially with the way that they've been showing up already. Even from the start of the day, they were taking people out with the most efficiency. And even at the game, as we look at it right now, we see a side stick connecting right there. Boom, that's going to be a stock gone onto megD, and Java's already on the second stock as well.
You just reminded me of that signature play earlier. Remember when we saw Fozey jump up, do gauntlet side stick, and underneath it, Fozey would be right under him and do multiple different options when it comes to the spear signatures on the side of Wushang or Chun-Li here. And we're seeing go deep off stage again. We're already seeing all these stocks fly. There is only 1 stock apiece on Java megD, and you wanted to say that you had no faith.
I qualified it afterwards. It was a bit. We were doing a bit, guys. We're in the same team here. simpLe and Fozey, though, coming out big. And you mentioned those like follow-up options. Like, that's a Fozey. Oh, he held that one deep. He might not be able to get back. No. Java might mix him up with the hammer here.
Yes. Oh, my God.
GC Inlight as the option, getting you a lot of active frames in case there's a dodge. You can go through those frames of your opponent. Another high active frame, giving the set up. He served it up, and then dinner was served by simpLe as he slapped the roast down on the table, said eat it, but it was to his own teammate.
Yeah, I mean, it must taste good, though, because he left the venue and said, let me go ahead and get a bite. But, I mean, at this point, like, I'm still team Java and megD, but I don't really have, like, anything to bring to the argument. Like, right now, they're kind of getting clapped up. I believe in their ability to adapt, but I don't think it's going to be this game.
Well, I think at least with the best of 5, you talk about not being this game, they have a lot of time to change it up, and I think right now, you got some time to think to yourself over there, megD, because you got a little bit of time by yourself. Java going for a ground pound deep off stage, hoping to maybe catch him slipping, find that bounce back up, but that was in every way, shape, or form a dominant first game coming in from simpLe and Fozey.
But you said dominant first game.
Exactly.
That's 3 words. One of those words, I think, is the most important. It's not dominant. I do love gaming, but I don't think game is the most important word. I think first is the most important word there, because that's game 1. There is a lot of distance to go. There are character changes. There are play style changes. So many things can be different from even just game 1 to game 2 when you are at this level of play.
And I'm hoping, and this is me hoping,
that
they go to a smaller stage for game 2. Because I feel like megD does great with space. I think we all know this, but I think he needs to be closer to Java at all times so they can really have those opportunities to play off of each other. Because you know Java's always waiting. We've seen it already before. I mean, he's even waiting to combo off of the enemy team's weapon throw. Like, he knows what's going to happen. Just keep him closer, and you guys will be fine. I promise.
I don't think we're going to go to a smaller stage. I'm really worried that you're going to keep huffing that hopium, and it's not going to play out.
Tastes good, brother.
That could be true. That could be true. But Ajax, we're not getting into game 2.
God.
We're seeing the players. Fozey wearing the
I forgot about
on
that.
the top of the
He's
head.
still
How do you
doing
feel
it
about that, dude? I don't know.
He is basically saying to people that you will never make me do the gamer lean. Because earlier today, I was like, how are you going to win with that hat like that? It's going to drop off your head when you lean forward because you're getting intense. He's still out here performing well. It's gotten a little crooked to the side maybe because he is down here in elimination bracket, but he's really out here with the North Face over the top of the headphones like that.
Fozey is like the new princess of Genovia, where she had to walk with like the glass of water on her head, and if she like leaned too much the other way or like walked too quickly, it would fall off. Like that's his glass of water. And if he doesn't lean forward, then he might be able to focus totally on the game and win it.
Maybe that's why his defense in-game has been so good, because his defense out-of-game has been on point. It's like, I'm not dropping this hat. It's staying up here, and that's impossible to hit me on screen, too, because he's too focused. But, you know, all of the compliments on the blue team, there is still the strengths of the red team that are now not going to be talked about because Java has been immediately exited from the building, and another one's gone. So let's forget that segment about how it's going to give them some hope, and let's go ahead and pass it back over to why simpLe and Fozey are currently performing so well.
Bro, Wu Shang, dude. God. The SIGs on this guy, man. They're light attacks. Like, I say it every tournament. I'm like, how does he get away with this every single time?
That side sig is just too nasty, man. It just slides in there so easily. Hit a dash forward to give you some distance coverage, and boom, it comes out. You're exactly right. Like a light attack.
And now at least they did get those stocks gone compared to last time. Last game, they were looking at 3 stocks to 1 and no hope. But they got some here. The damage is starting to even out a bit. Stage control looking a little bit better for the red team. But I think the blue team's awareness right there, even though that didn't connect, simpLe's always ready to try and capitalize the moment that Fozey sets something up.
Now, that's due to simpLe's experience in 2v2. He's played with so many different players. And when you play with a lot of different people, that gives you a lot of different characters that you've played with, a lot of different play styles that you've played with. So you have to learn how to follow up off of so many different variables. And that's a skill that players like simpLe have that make them some of the best 2v2 players in the world.
And granted, one thing that I'm looking for in terms of the red team is they're one of the few teams today that's playing with something I consider slightly off meta. And only slightly off meta because many of the teams today are running double gauntlets, just like religiously. And this is one of the few teams that, yeah, it's not like sword and hammer aren't perfectly fine 2v2 weapons, but they have to navigate that matchup against the double gauntlets, and you can tell it's been tough for them, but they've been hanging on this far in bracket.
Yeah, it has been working just because of the strength of that Java being such a character specialist. He's been able to kind of carry that over, and they're getting able to... oh, never mind. It is only the blue team who will take out the blue team. Earlier it was simpLe who did the gauntlet toss, and now simpLe takes out Fozey. That actually gives... Java and megD a slightly better chance if they can find one of those big offstage plays that we've seen Java go for. This can lead to it right now. There's the side air going in for the weapon toss. Go back spot, ground pound.
Java.
Huge play from Java, and that's going to be the wall touch, so he gets back.
I like that bounce pass that he did. I don't know if that was totally intentional. I'm going to say it was. That he could have baited out the quick dodge, but he bounce passed it to himself. So then he's over there for the edge guard situation. He's not at a weapon disadvantage. He could have baited the dodge out or in-air movement economy. That was a beautiful play from Java. Even though it didn't lead to anything immediately, splitting up the team. Red team here together. simpLe doing what he can. Everybody in the red.
Oh, you know what? Gonna hit by Sayer. Weapon throw is going to send Java off stage. Fozey is trying to hold center. megD clearly wants to go and attack simpLe on the other side, but they have to pick their options well here. D-Light Sayer isn't enough to KO. Are you kidding me? The red team have had so many options where they hit the blue team, and they barely survive. What's going on here?
I swear, he could kiss the blast zone.
Wow.
But he's still alive. Java is going to fall. megD not in a terrible spot here. Just in the orange. simpLe and Fozey, despite being on the blue team, are extremely red.
It's doable if you could separate the two. If you could just get one off stage, find that D-Light recovery. That's going to be one. megD gets him over on the side, looking for simpLe. simpLe getting the down and they're going for the ground pound. Misses out. megD just trying to get him, and he misses. He dodges, but the neutral light send him back off stage.
Bro, if blue team loses this off of simpLe not picking up the spear recovery after megD did the D-Light recovery to knock out his teammate, that is going to be so brutal.
No way. Down with this, and he's completely unarmed still. He can't do anything about this. Weapon toss up gets him, and now they're pulled on the arm. He just came up weapon position.
I'm so biased.
Oh my.
I need you to do this.
Oh, he no follow-up. He didn't want to get punished for it. Oh, he didn't want to get punished for it.
Go for the recovery. Oh, look at megD sing. Why?
megD's the GOAT.
What? Okay, megD's not the GOAT after that one, bro. He punished like a fully charged sig, bro. He punished it with a side air, too. He could have done a neutral signature to fully guarantee the kill. That side air was so close to not knocking out.
That's the same if you told me that like LeBron went over and dunked on top of a parked car. Like he was stuck right there, and it was all for him. However, if you...
megD.
Now, however, if megD actually missed that somehow and didn't let that go, this would have been clown hour for the next like 3 minutes.
That's true. I would let him have it. I would have been like, megD, you trash, bro. No, I mean, not all that. I mean, he's clearly some of the best players in Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can have moments of less brilliance. But it looks like we're hopping right into game number 3. This has been one banger of a set so far, and I don't expect it to slow down.
And also, all day, we have seen 3 all day. We've seen 3-0s left and right. People have been holding hands all day. But this is the first time I think we could see a potential Game 5. This is one of the first times I've seen the set go It looked like it's getting better, even though currently the blue team is once again starting to cook the red team. Every time I try to help the red team, they get bodied. I gotta stop.
You were talking about handholding. I was worried megD was going to get lost over on the left side of the stage. He lost his buddy. He was almost taken out, but Java on the right side. Fozey was mixing up megD. Java was mixing up simpLe, and the actual first KO went to Java.
Bro, I believe it. I was telling Ajax earlier, bro. I feel like Java's hammer is so filthy, so easily the best in the world. No one can contest me on that. This dude is cracked on that hammer. And despite I was like, come on, man, is it the partner or something? How is he not winning every tournament? Like, he's so clean off stage.
I think it just might be that, like, the switch-ups of the partners, maybe, and also just the strength of everybody who's been above him. Luna and Pugsy have been tearing everything up lately. But Java is going to end up losing his stock in a misstep, but he took forever to lose it. But there's Fozey again, holding on to his first one for quite some time. This has been the problem all day for other teams.
I'm glad you bring up Java's hammer, not just because it's like one of the best in the world, but because his hammer is really unique. No one else, it's not just like he plays the hammer a little bit better than everyone else. Like, oh, he does this a little bit better. No, he plays a completely unique hammer that is totally Java, and everybody else like wishes they could play that type of hammer.
No, I have to feel the same way. It's one of those things where it's like, if you watch the video and the name tags are removed, you can identify Java. You know what I mean? Like, it's so clear and obvious. But despite that, I mean, on the other side, we got simpLe and Fozey have been doing such a great job of keeping this team at bay here. I mean, we still have 3 stocks on Fozey, rocking this doll sim. My man is feeling so good with the yoga poses.
Oh!
Psych! Now he's
then immediately just punished there by simpLe, always waiting for the opportunity, and he got a 2-piece out of that one.
And it's like, oh, no, he picked up his teammate too, but like they have that stock to burn. It is 4 stocks to 2, and it's on Fozey, who's been doing a fantastic job surviving this. It says Fozey, but I almost feel like I'm looking at Pugsy here with the survivability.
And it's not even just stock tanking. Fozey's in the fray. He's not hiding. He is scrapping, and he's still surviving. That's the most frustrating part, but simpLe finally drops one. They still have that extra stock to play with on Fozey, but simpLe, all he does is wait for Fozey to line it up like we've seen all day, Flambeau.
And so far, I mean, it looks like Java, despite the fact being down to his final stock, having the most damage, is trying to slow things down a little bit. Allow megD to take the forefront, maybe try to set up a quick early KO with those gauntlets, but they need to get him off stage. Potential conversion, that's good damage, another one, and he turns around! How did he not catch both? They're doing so well, look how much control of the stage that they are excreting right now. This is perfect for the red team.
The way the red team turned that around was beautiful, off of the side signature that came out from simpLe that hit Fozey. They took it so far, not even just the first hit, second hit, third hit, they kept it going and then turned it into a team combo as well. Fozey! Fozey at the bottom of the stage! megD's taken out! Are they going to get the KO on to Java? No! Java's going to turn that one around, give himself a little bit of breathing room, but in comes Fozey right on top of that weapon spawn.
We just saw megD pull it off. Can Java do it too? A much different damage-looking situation, however, though. But it is that hammer. That hammer we talked about, his separation skills, the damage he could put on. It's pretty rough because they're both so low, but if you ever wanted a chance to make it back, you hope it's here. But this is so hard to get by!
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that exact setup so many times today. The Yoga Fire on top of the Wu Shang side sigs, Chun-Li just poking. It's like, how do I navigate around that? Like, I gotta jump around, and then if you do that, you burn 2 jumps. By the end of that, Wu Shang is already gonna be down on the cooldown and go for a D-Light and hit you. So it's like, I guess I just die?
Yeah, and all they got to do is count it down. They just watch how many times you hang out on that side of the stage. Eventually, you got to make it back up, and you never give up stage position with that setup. If you decide to go off stage and go for the big play, you might get scooped by recovery, and all of a sudden, you're off stage while he gets to go box with someone in center. But you hold that ground like that, if you have both of them, by the time that neutral sig from Rayman ends, you got the coverage from Wu Shang. So nothing goes wrong in that spot, and that's why it's so dangerous to deal with.
Now we're moving quickly on into this game. They waited the perfect amount of time to give us some replays to see the highlights of last match. Man, I don't know what Remy's going to look at, but I'm excited for what Remy's going to have for us after this set. As we get into Game 4 now, simpLe and Fozey up 2-1 in this set. Remember, everybody at home, there's a reason this bracket is called the Elimination Bracket. If you lose the best of 5 here, your 2v2 journey is over, Flambeau.
And I'm sweating, man, because in this scenario, yes, it's 2-1, but the only game that they won was a 2v1 where megD was clutch, and that can't be the best case scenario. You know, they need to win one of these games cleanly, both of them alive, you know, maybe like a 2-1 on the stock count. If this ends up in the last stock, last hit scenario again, I can't be too confident in the red team's ability to bring this to a game 5. I think this really could end right here, but I'm hoping as the biased one.
Yeah, I definitely feel that confidence in the blue team right now as well, because like when you see the way that even the matches they've lost with that 2v1, they still had the lead. It was just on megD who clutched it out. They had the lead again on the last one, and they didn't clutch it out. So they are still holding the lead all the time, much like this one already. And we're gonna see simpLe lose his stock, but the fact that they dealt with Java, whose defense was looking really good in that last one, already seems like they are making the adjustments necessary to take this game.
Since you're talking about defense, I want to look at simpLe's, I guess, quote-unquote defense last game. He didn't take that much damage, but he also did the most damage. He dealt 638, most in the entire match. He only took 381. So his quote-unquote tanking of the damage wasn't taking it and living. It was just avoiding damage whatsoever while still dealing the most damage in the game. How is that? What is that? How does that even work?
That's a different level of like feeling yourself at that point. Like nothing will hit you, but you have every bit of confidence that you are going to cook anybody you walk into in the match. That's scary and that's hard to stop at this point.
Yeah, and I'm thinking at this point, I mean, the red team we were talking about before, they need to like get a convincing win for themselves, right? And it looks like they've been able to keep this game relatively more even. Java was the first one to lose a stock and has the most damage right now, and if that trend continues, could spell an odd future for the red team. But despite that, it looks like they're hitting back pretty strongly here. They're slowing things down and trying to set up that sandwich. We saw that with the end lane. He was like, if I can hit you with this, we can get a team combo, get rid of one of their stocks. Didn't land, but I like the thought process I'm seeing.
They're both playing kind of like tank and DPS roles at the way I'm looking at them up front. There's one setting up hoping to line up the team combo, but the other person in the back immediately interrupts. There hasn't been anything that got started quickly, but what we've seen all day, at least from this right here, is how the blue team always nabs the kill first, unless it's off of a team combo. So if they can't find that knockout soon, they're going to be struggling.
We're seeing 4 stocks to 3 here. We're seeing Fozey likely going to fall here. Yes, he is. simpLe's not able to get over there to hit him, to at least give him another jump or anything like that, get him over to the wall after that gravity cancel neutral sync came out. Going to turn that around, at least get a stock for it. So we have 3 stocks to 2 now in favor of the blue team. We'll see if simpLe is able to hold on to this for a little bit longer, as we're coming in about 3 minutes and 15 seconds into this game.
This one's getting a little bit tough. Java, once again, the person with the most damage on the field, trying to stay alive here. If he's able to get one of those hammer plays, can bring the team right back into this. These nairs chaining good amounts of damage onto Dalsim here, and that's going to be a burn dodge. We're going to see a capitalization. No! Instead, waits a little bit, goes for a read on a Sayer, and it doesn't connect.
A lot of that having to do with what Sparky just mentioned before, 600 plus damage, never getting hit in the last one. But burned the dodge there, never got hit, but is still in the fray. Finally lost the stock, but Java currently on last legs, and that last leg has now exited the building. We have a 2v1 situation once again. Is megD in fact the GOAT? Does he get the 2v1 again here, Flambeau?
I mean, you just got to hit a D-Light recovery onto Dalsim, and you have a 1v1, and I'm confident in megD in the 1v1. I'm not going to cap. I'm like, if you can get to there, I think you can win, but he has to find the opening, and if he burns the gravity cancel to try to get the D-Light, that means he's going to get punished so harshly if it doesn't connect. So we'll see if megD has it in him. Going to buy some time on the side of the stage here, maybe say, hey, anyone come down here, you know, step into my parlor, see what's going on, you know, get a haircut in my barbershop or something. But no, nobody's trying to play. Nobody wants to mess with megD off the stage.
Now, you bring up a good point there about the 1v1 against megD versus simpLe. If we get to that, I would almost put it on megD as well. Not necessarily because I think megD is that much better than simpLe, but because simpLe is on this character and not the Bodvar, not the Teros, not the sort of standard 1v1 pick that we see from simpLe. So this is a 2v2 pick coming in here. I don't know if I feel fully confident on the 1v1, but it doesn't even matter. The recovery comes out on top. Chase